Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection. Because perfection doesn't exist. It's been a sad six months to a year for sunscreen. We've had to say goodbye to a few of our firm favorites, our tried and tested and trued no, that's not it. Sunscreens that we absolutely love because they did not live up to their SPF promises. Not quite reaching the SPF rating that each product promised. So it's been tough, but today I hope to bring some new light to the sunscreen world and hopefully introduce you to some new favorites. I know these are favorites of mine. So in this video, I'm not going to be talking about what sunscreen is and how it works and differences between the two. You know, I think we all know that by now. If not, I'm going to link some videos in the description box to different videos that discuss all that kind of stuff. Today, I'm going to be talking about the most important thing when it comes to our sunscreens, how the product works, how the product looks on our skin, how it feels, and just if they're any good to use. Please feel free to use the chapter markers to skip through because there's going to be quite a few sunscreens, and I just want to do a quick little chat about kind of like sunscreen bullying, I guess. And I've been guilty of this. We all know that it's important to wear sunscreen, but I feel like with the rise again of like the popularity of skincare, a lot of skinfluencers, whether they're professionals in the industry or just enthusiasts like myself, we kind of sunscreen bully. We're like, you must wear it and you must reapply every 2 hours. If you don't, you're a fucking idiot. And we see a lot of brands now jumping on this bandwagon. A lot of them are like, hi to only those who applied sunscreen today. And if you didn't reapply your sunscreen, you're cancelled, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think what we forget to realize is that skincare in general and sunscreen is really such a luxury for a lot of people. It's a real privilege to have in some cases. I'm in a very fortunate position where if I wanted to, I can reapply sunscreen every 2 hours and not worry about when my bottle's going to finish because I literally have a whole drawer full of sunscreens and I'm probably going to get gifted more, you know? If I wasn't in this position, if this wasn't my job, I probably wouldn't be applying sunscreen the way I do, knowing how expensive sunscreen can be. And I'd probably be less pedantic about it, to be 100% honest with you. So I just want to give you 2 sunscreens that are super affordable that I've not tried, but I've heard amazing things about them from skincare reviewers and specialists and experts who I really, really trust. But remember as well, covering up, sunglasses, big hat, long sleeves, covering your neck, everything is also good protection. So don't sunbathe, stay in the shade, all that usual stuff. So Garnier Ombre Solaire Super UV Anti-Dark Spots and Anti-Pollution Face Fluid. This is an SPF 50+. This is £7 for 40 milliliters. This is £7 and it's supposed to be pretty much a direct dupe of La Roche-Posay's very, very popular sunscreen. In fact, I heard many people say that they couldn't tell the difference between the two. A lightweight chemical sunscreen. The next one is Bondi Sands Sunscreen Lotion SPF 50+ for face. This is fragrance free. This was actually recommended by Caroline Hirons. It's non-greasy, good for all skin types, and super affordable at $6.99. So I will link them down below. I've not tried them myself, but heard amazing things about them. I got more affordable options coming, but those are 2 that I feel are really easily accessible all round. So we have to start with Ultraviolet. This is an Australian skincare brand that I've seen quite a few Australian skincare bloggers and stuff post about, and I've been desperate to try this. So the moment I found out this was available at Space NK, I grabbed whatever was in stock. So I got 4 items to show you here. This brand has been described as skin screen because of the hybrid of sunscreen meets skincare product while supplying highest comfortable sun protection, in their own words. I feel that's something that Korean sunscreen brands do very well anyway. You know, as far as like merging sunscreens with moisturizing benefits or sunscreens with things like niacinamide and all that kind of stuff. Korean sunscreens have done that very, very well. So I was interested to see if these differ at all, and to be honest, they don't. It's just they're all very, very nice, elegant formulas. Let's start off with the Queen Screen SPF 50+, a lightweight sunscreen serum. Listen, I don't hate sunscreen serums. I just think it's stupid. No, it's stupid. I think the name's stupid. I think all these are lightweight chemical sunscreens that come in dropper bottles. That's all they really are. And I think the whole serum thing can get a little bit confusing going by comments I've seen online. In my comment section as well, a lot of people are like, oh, so do you apply this before you moisturize? And no, sunscreen should always be the last step in your routine. before makeup. Saying that, I don't hate sunscreen in dropper packaging. I actually think it's quite convenient. With these serum droppers, I like that I can measure out the correct amount to use, so 1/4 teaspoon for my face. I often use 1/2 teaspoon of sunscreen on my face and then 1/2 teaspoon on my neck, just because I like to cover the full areas. So I can very easily measure out how many droppers worth of product that is and then just reuse over and over. No 2-finger rule, no having to measure it out. You know, you get a good idea of how much you actually need to use. This one does have mineral filters in it as well, but no white cast whatsoever. In fact, if you look on their social media, you see a lot of people of color and black skin using these products with no problem whatsoever. Well, this product in particular. I don't hate the idea, I just wish everything was in pump packaging, which 2 of their products are, which I absolutely love. But yeah, I absolutely love this. No complaints at all. This is actually targeted, however, to people with dry skin and also normal skin, whatever that may be. I have oily skin that's under control, to be honest with you. I'm breaking out a little bit, but I didn't find this was heavy or too greasy at all. Very comfortable on the skin. We have vitamin C in here in the form of Kakadu Plum, which I think, where have we heard that before? I think Glow Recipe used that. Giving the sunscreen antioxidant boost, so that works great with sun protection, helping fight free radical damage, so that's in there too. It is a little heavy on the fragrance side as far as ingredients goes, but it's not, you don't smell like it's packed full of artificial fragrance. It does unfortunately have a rose scent, which I don't usually like. However, it is rose, but then the sunscreen smell kind of undercuts that. So it's kind of like, I don't know, like you took a bouquet of roses to the beach kind of smell. It's bearable and the smell goes pretty quick as well. I just don't get rose scents. I think they're very old-fashioned. They're not for me. The next product from them is the SPF 30 Clean Screen. Fragrance-free, weightless mineral sunscreen. Again, broad spectrum. Probably one of the only mineral sunscreens that I can comfortably wear without looking pale and ghosty. Well, they say it's a mineral sunscreen, but it's actually got a combination of chemical and mineral filters. It's got a slight tint to it, which I've seen people say helps the mineral sunscreens look less white. I really don't think they do. They just change the color of the white. They just tint the white. You know, but I would say if you have a deeper skin tone than me, I'm a little bit tan naturally. If you have a deeper skin tone, I would kind of veer on the side of caution when buying this one. But yeah, I have a test. When I want to test the mineral sunscreen, I'll put it on and I think, oh, it's worked, like I don't look white. But to test it, I'll put it on before we go on a dog walk and then see what my partner says. If he's like, what the fuck's wrong with your face, or why is your face pink, then I know the mineral sunscreen has left a white cast. If he doesn't say anything and he hasn't clocked it, then I know it's a good one, and he did not notice this on my skin at all, so it's a pass. They actually say on their website that titanium dioxide in this helps soothe irritated skin. I've heard that about zinc oxide, but not titanium. I don't know, let me know. It's a super minimal ingredient list as well, to be honest with you. Not much to say about other than it's a nice, elegant formulation, especially for a mineral sunscreen. It's got the texture and feel of a chemical sunscreen with that slight little tint to it that on a lot of like lighter skin tones will probably go unnoticed. We next have the SPF 50 Plus Supreme Screen Hydrating Facial Sunscreen, UVA, UVB broad spectrum. I just want to say, by the way, mineral sunscreens aren't necessarily better than chemical in any way whatsoever. There's this myth that the chemical sunscreens can heat up your skin and cause damage, so people of color shouldn't use it. It's not true. I'll link more information down below. This is nice. I mean, really, you can kind of, if you don't wear makeup, you can pick between either one of these, but it does have a slight pink tint to it, which doesn't go on the skin. You don't see it, but it does have that more kind of primer feel to it. When I put this on my skin, it did make my skin look a lot softer. It mattified me a little bit, but not to the point where I was uncomfortable, and it did make my skin look a little bit more even. Not by a lot though. And saying that, they do market this as more of a primer, which you find a lot of sunscreens are kind of like, you can also use this as a primer. Yeah, we have antioxidants again in here in the form of Kakadu Plum, so vitamin C. However, this one does feel a lot more hydrating and lighter weight on the skin than this one, but this one does feel very fluidy, lightweight. This was a lot more comfortable to reapply over and over and over. This was still absolutely fine. Not that this one is greasy, but this one felt a little bit oilier than this one did. So yeah, if you are going like full coverage makeup, you might want to go for this one instead. But again, not much difference between the two ingredient wise. This just feels a lot more elegant and primary, and this one just feels like your everyday chemical sunscreen. Finally, we have the lip tint. I got it in the rose. This is SPF 50 Sheen Screen Hydrating Lip Balm. I got it in the rose because it's pretty much my lip color, my natural lip color. With lip sunscreens, I do find it hard. I'm going to show you some today, but I did find it hard to find ones that where you can't taste the sunscreen, or ones that make you cough the moment you put them on, and that are also actually hydrating and moisturizing at the same time, because a lot of these are just kind of like, they just kind of sit on your lips and feel very uncomfortable. Texture wise, this is somewhere in between your average chapstick and Vaseline. It goes on super smooth and almost unnoticeable, and again, at first it does feel actually quite hydrating. My lips got a bit drier quicker than it would do like a normal lip balm, but that's to be expected with lip sunscreens. They're not hard to reapply, so it's just, you know, a quick once over. I saw someone on TikTok, a lady actually, she used this over her sunscreen as a lip tint, she used it as a blush, and then also like a bit of an eye tint as well for like added protection, which I think was a really, really cool idea, and it looked really nice. It's nice to have kind of like those multi-purpose products. But really looking at the ingredients, this is essentially just shea butter, beeswax, and some nice oils with sunscreen, but that's perfect, that's all we need. That is essentially what a lip balm is, with added SPF. So yeah, I'm really happy with these. They have a body one and a mattifying one. You know I'm not about mattifying my skin, so I probably won't get that one. I'll get the body one, but yeah, I love this brand. I think they're so good. So good. I'm kind of more interested to see what else Australian brands have to offer as far as sunscreen goes. New sunscreen brand, Hello Sunday. Somebody actually DM'd me over on Instagram telling me that there was a new sunscreen brand out, exclusive to Cult Beauty at the time. So I went straight over to Cult Beauty and bought all of these myself. I have recently been gifted some products from them, but everything I've got today is actually bought out of my own money. But they have me obsessed with their products. They are super affordable. They have a hand cream, a lip balm, a sunscreen, a serum sunscreen, a sunscreen primer, and a body sunscreen. All chemical filters, all at reasonable prices. I sound like a spokesperson. I'm not. I've not used the primer because I don't really have any need for it. I just bought it out of panicking reasons, and I haven't used the body one yet because, again, I cover up, but I have used the others. So let me talk to you about the hand cream first of all, because I don't see a lot of hand creams with sun protection. This is the one for your hands, SPF 30 hand cream, high protection, broad spectrum, moisturizing hand cream. It's lightly fragranced, it contains aloe vera and jojoba oil, so you do get this nice hydrated, moisturized feeling to the hands. It's not as heavy as your average everyday hand cream, you know, that you apply at night, but that's kind of nice because you can sit out in the sun and reapply it and not have to like massage it into your hands for the next hour. You can just get on with stuff, especially as we're going to be reapplying this throughout the day. You don't want those like too creamy oily layers layering up on your hands. So yeah, chemical sunscreen. Then we have their lip sunscreen as well. This is the one for the lips. This is an SPF 50 lip balm, high protection sun care, UVA UVB, so broad spectrum again. The lip balm is very nice on the lips. It's a little bit over fragrance, like you can taste the fragrance, but that does go very quick. At first you can kind of taste the smell a little bit, but for the formulation and how it feels on the lips, I'm fine to put up with that for a minute, you know, and kind of let the product sink in and let the smell go if it means having SPF 50 on my lips. Like all nice lip balms, we have shea butter. We also have hyaluronic acid in here, so you get your hydration, you get your moisture, as well as vitamin E again, so a nice moisturizing ingredient. It's hard to describe the texture of this. It's like like a melted lip balm, but with structure. You'll see in the video clip of me using it. It's soft. It's really weird to explain. It's like Elizabeth Arden, like 58-hour cream, however many hours it is, but softer and lighter and less Vaseline-y, less petroleum jelly type kind of feeling. Anyway, moving on. They also have a sunscreen serum. This is called the One That's a Serum. It's SPF 45. Again, broad spectrum. They have the whole blue light protection thing, which is a whole nother thing to talk about. But I love this. It's very reminiscent of Japanese sunscreens. If you use them before, you know that they tend to be quite alcohol heavy. This one isn't particularly, but they sink in super quick to the skin. They have that more liquidy kind of texture. That even if you are applying the right amount, it kind of feels like you're not applying the right amount because it doesn't even feel like there's anything on your skin. And honestly, it does feel a lot more hydrating than a lot of sunscreens I've used, even their own for the face sunscreen. Again, we have vitamin C in here for the antioxidant boost, fighting against free radical damage, keeping our collagen and elastin in check. Aloe vera again and allantoin, so really soothing for the skin. This doesn't sting my eyes whatsoever. It doesn't itch my skin. I really like this one a lot. Their SPF 50, the everyday one, I couldn't find this on their website. I think it's exclusive to Cult Beauty, but they do have an everyday SPF 30. Honestly, this just feels like this one, but slightly thicker, like an everyday chemical sunscreen, to be honest with you. Not anything special, just a nice sunscreen. I do feel like they didn't have to make this one if they have this one. Like, I know it's slightly a higher SPF, but I'd just rather reapply this more regularly, because the formulation of this is so nice. If they can get this in a 50, I'd be stocking up. We have hyaluronic acid in here, so it is, you do feel that hydration. Allantoin and aloe vera again. Vitamin C again. Not, honestly, like, I just tend to swap between these two, whatever's in front of me first, kind of thing. I really like this brand a lot. Next up is Dr. Sam's Flawless Daily Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 50. This is one that I've not talked about enough, and I don't know why, because I've gone through a couple of these. I feel like I kept it secret for no real reason. This does feel like a normal moisturizer on the skin. It just glides over the skin, leaving you very silky smooth, not matte, like a very normal natural glow. Not dewy, but natural. The packaging's super nice as well, because what they've done is they worked out that 3 pumps is enough for your face and 3 pumps is enough for your neck, which I think is a great idea, because again, it stops you trying to measure it out and do any kind of sunscreen hacks or tips, you know. And I wish a lot of brands would do that as well. We also have niacinamide in here for brighter skin tone, hyaluronic acid for hydration, and squalane as well, so found naturally within our skin. Great in moisturizers, not greasy, not oily. We do have zinc oxide in here, but there's no white cast, no stinging sensation either. I'd actually say this is quite a nice option for everyone, dare I say. I think I'm going to say it. I think all skin types, conditions, tones should be able to use this sunscreen with absolutely no problem whatsoever. Okay, so other than the Hello Sunday brand, I have 2 lip balms for you. The one I am absolutely in love with is Paula's Choice Lip Screen Broad Spectrum SPF 50. This is so good because it just feels like a normal lip balm and smells like nothing. It's quite unextraordinary in the best way, in the sense that what I dislike about sunscreen lip balms is, you know, they got sunscreen in, because as I mentioned, you can smell it or taste it. Whereas this just feels like, you know, a Burt's Bees chapstick, but better. We have avobenzone as a sunscreen. We have olive oil, shea butter, some oils, other waxy oils, and vegetable oil. It's just a traditional lip balm, and that's why I love it. There's nothing special about it, but you've got your sunscreen in there. It's so non-intrusive. It's so carry around with you every day. It's boring, but it's got factor 50 in, and that's why I absolutely love it. You know, this is like a little bit shiny. You know, this is like a tint. Like, I feel like they've had to do these little tricks to kind of get sunscreen in. Like, I love them both, but if you really don't want a tint or a little bit of a sheen or a glossy finish, this very basic lip balm is the best one. It's like £12. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. Nothing special in such a good way. The next one is the Supergoop Lip Shield SPF 30. I believe you have to buy 3 of these at a time. Supergoop is not related to Gwyneth Paltrow in any way. That's Goop. They're different things. So this is okay. It's not my favorite, but it is one of the first good lip balms with sunscreen that I tried. This is just like their Unseen sunscreen, but in a solid form. And you can kind of smell and taste that as well. It's also very minty. It's very minty and a little bit tingly on the lips, which I'm not a fan of, like, minty lip stuff. It makes you feel like you just brushed your teeth and you haven't washed anything away properly. And in my experience, this goes on a little bit greasy, but then also somehow leaves you a little bit dry. So you do have to reapply more often than you think with this one. It's kind of like a little bit, oh, I have to keep applying it. And it's that constant minty kind of smell. I don't know. Why am I talking about this? It's, you know, it's good. If you don't mind mint, you're fine. We've got avocado and coconut oil in here that feel not moisturizing nor hydrating, to be honest, as well as grapeseed oil. It just kind of feels like it sits on top of your skin. There is aloe vera in here as well. Honestly, this feels like I've been eating like chicken wings that have been marinated in sunscreen. You just get that kind of leftover feeling on your lips. I don't know why I'm talking about this one. Like, it's fine, but I just feel like there are better alternatives now. The Unseen sunscreen is really good. I had to chuck mine away because I hadn't used it all up, but it's so good. It's completely clear, so any skin tone can use it, any skin color. The Kylie Skin one is actually very similar, if not a complete rip-off of the Goop one, but it's a lot more affordable. They do both have a velvety matte finish, which I'm not a huge fan of because I like a bit of like a dewy glow, but both are extremely similar and just really comes down to the price and what, I guess, who you want to support. The Kylie Skin is cheaper by about $6 for the same size. So honestly, they feel exactly the same. That's kind of my sunscreen roundup for today. Let me know if there's any of your favorites down below. I am trying some new Japanese and Korean sunscreens. I've just not got there fully with them yet. But let me know some sunscreens you'd like to see my opinion of in the description box down below. One of my favorite skincare products I'm always looking to try more. You can check out some more product reviews here and some light entertainment here, and I will see you over there.